Yeah, maybe I will talk. In fact, I was going to have a 30-minute class. I might as well have a 1.5 minute class where I'm talking, I'm not presenting. So thanks, Alex, for reminding. I'm not presenting yet. But perhaps I should now present. Where is this presentation? Ndio hii hapa, entire. Maybe the only thing I need to present is that Google Classroom I'm pointing at. I think you're right, Alex. This is a class. So I'm saying we have set material in the Google Classroom. Some have been released to you. I think between now and the next 1 hour, you'll see content coming your way. But you have not completed that. They are scheduled, especially projects. We'll talk about that a little later, like I said. So now you can see I'm presenting some screen. But thanks, Alex, for reminding me and making me know that there are people I'm speaking to. Alex, before you came, I think you were not among the first 10 I said. I was not even aware I had not said the Google Classroom. And I entered the wrong one that Shidman said. I even changed it because I saw 11 o'clock. But thanks, when you talk, then I also know that we are live and lively. Very well. What else then did we do in the projects we say we'll talk about that? I think the final thing we said in the introductory class was the course outline. I think that's the one which I require to present, and I thought I'd opened it. It was open here. Here it is. So the most important tool, the most important reference point, the most important communication or discussion or presentation in that class is this document which expands the Senate approved, the Q Commission for University Education approved curriculum by stating the expected learning outcomes. You find this purpose even in the Google Classroom. I should repeat it. Even this learning outcome should be there so that when you enter Google Classroom, probably it reminds you. So I created the class at 9 o'clock. I'm going to take this and place it there. Explanations and developments and planning and application and performing audit ultimately. Then we outlined the content. We talked about the IT environment under which IT audits are done. Today, we spent about 10 minutes, maybe 15, talking about the legal environment in the context of Kenya. The textbook might have its examples from US, from Europe, from elsewhere. We need to come back to Kenya, and I think there's something updated. If you are downloading the material and then running away, you know that what we are discussing is a new slide I added there as I was preparing yesterday. In the next class, we'll talk about the ID audit in serious detail. I'm already testing you, I'm already giving you assignments, I'm already giving you tasks. And we'll discuss the task I gave you. After we finish with the legal environment, I took a look at one which happened to be in my shared folder here. I believe I've now removed it. Shared folder is where I work a number of things we share. Even this one seemed to be among the type. I took one look and I said, did you really understand the assignment? So I don't need to know I here, but it's in the Google Classroom. So we discuss that and see whether you understood the assignment, because I thought some of you are writing on things way beyond. The assignment was very specific, so I thought, we look at that. Even maybe you need to revise. It's a learning process though. Then we will go to the planning and spend quite some time, as we said. We'll talk about governance issues in a big way with the COVID. We'll talk about risk management, project management. And we talked about now the actual auditing on the ground, auditing application development, change control. And we will hear examples. We'll give you examples of processes, procedures, audit programs that we are prepared, that we have used in the university, that we have used for other clients. The client one, I may not reveal it because it's confidential, but the university one, your own university, plenty of examples to illustrate it, even an audit program, even change control process, change control procedures. So I'm emphasizing that application part. And of course, we spelled out the obligation. So that's what we introduced. So the class now, I think, is fully introduced. Why there are only 37 people in this class so far and it is getting to 9:15, I do not understand. Out of a class attendance, sign the attendance list. Sign the attendance list. Let's see whether I think the font here is going to change slightly. Sign in the new way. Put your initials there, kindly. Don't use. I think that should be size 12. Don't use that tick. Let's use the the signage here as indicated. Also read the instructions as given up there. So who is this? Change it. Wisdom Makoa, change that to the new format. Initials, but there is also history, there is a record. So sign this. So out of say 84 students, we have not even reached a half of those. And yet you are the people who are asking. And I agreed through your class rep. When your class rep asks me something, I respect that. Now we're about halfway. I said, although I know you may be manipulating me a little bit, but you're allowed to manipulate for good, in a good sense. So then I thought I'm bringing the class to your home. Yeah, we allow you to, as your senior or even your father, we do allow you sometimes listen. But I was intending to come to school, and there are a number of things when I come to school to do. As is not only teaching you. So I had to change that because you requested rather late in a very nice message through your class rep who communicates very well, respectively and formally. And I said, and out of that, I said, okay, then I reluctantly agree, but I've agreed. So then I don't understand why there is only a half of the students here, 44. That includes me, for me twice, me the presenter and me the speaker. I don't know, but we spelled out the word attitude in the philosophy. Let's just continue. But nonetheless, we're assuming that the people who are yet to come are held up in traffic, network traffic. The legal environment. My topics are here ready. I open all my notes a few minutes before that. So check these slides. I may have added one slide even modified. So we gave the textbook. The actual textbook is available, and you read the textbook, not PowerPoint. PowerPoint is nothing. It's just points. About 10-15 minutes here. Perhaps I should give you an assignment. And the assignment is coming. After this, we are going to review document. I think hierarchy, I have not mentioned that. The issue of document hierarchy, and there's a slide I updated. And I believe that's your next assignment. So my work is to guide you on how to do audits, to guide you how to demonstrate that through the tasks that I'm giving you, to guide you with the examples that I've done my own self. And there's plenty, even in the Google Classroom, that I've not given to you yet. But I promise, I think tomorrow will be a fairly free day for me. Yesterday was a very busy day. 9 o'clock, say first year class. 11 o'clock, first year class, the same class divided. At noon, at noon there's a meeting I missed because now I was driving from Chiromo home. At 2 o'clock we had a meeting. Among the meeting we discussed MSc projects. At 6 o'clock I had a new class, master's class. And yet I managed to update content here. So I think yesterday from, you can say from 7 to 9 o'clock, I was busy almost every hour of the day. Fine. So then is when I realized, even the master's class, I had not posted majority of the materials, and I promised tomorrow I'm going to post for you all the assignments, all the materials, I think all the cases. It's only other additional material, which is going to be minimal, or which may as need arises, maybe something attractive that I have seen in the media that calls for us to discuss it in this meeting. So we are alive, we are lively, we are current, we are thinking on how to apply this to any emerging situations in this country, not the textbook which is written by an American, which gives examples. And I have slides here which gives you the American examples. Actually, the examples of, for example, legislation we should be using is European. The European one, they directly tend to apply directly here. I have not included some here, but I should have. Maybe you'll get these updated. The legal issues or the legal environment under which you conduct is audit, under which you will comply, you audit compliance, under which the environment under which you audit to assure management that they are complying with the laws. So the learning outcome here is to discuss IT crimes and explain the three main categories of crimes. That's a small part. The bigger part is to identify the relevant IT, the relevance to ID audit of these legal frameworks in the context of Kenya or the context of any other institution, any other country, any other scenario, any other situation you will find yourself in. You may not be carrying out forensic audit, which you discuss later, and there's an assignment, there's a standard. You may be carrying out compliance audit. You may specifically be tasked to carry out compliance with the law. For example, the universities in Kenya regulated by the Commission for University Education. Once every 5 years, they are obligated to come and audit, inspect. Actually, the word is audit. I don't think they use the word inspect. Audit each and every one of the 70 or 80, nearly 80, or even 80 plus universities and university colleges in Kenya to check that they comply with the Universities Act and other pieces of legislation and guidelines which the regulator gives. And certainly, when your charter expires, and we'll talk about charter later on when we look at document review in the context of the University of Nairobi, and you need to recharter. I think the charter lasts 10 years, I think, or 5 years. I don't 5 years, I think. They will come and carry out the audit. Now, before them coming out to carry out the audit, they're actually auditors by all means. They may not be IT auditors, but the auditors, compliance auditors. But before they do that, internally, Senate will have to undertake their audit in preparation for the external audit. So this is compliance with the regulatory requirements, among others. So it says here, this slide says, some of the pieces of legislation, Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 25 years ago, quarter century ago. This an American act is well known, is talked about. I cannot recall the equivalent here. When we go through the list that I prepared here, there is equivalent. I think it's probably Data Protection Act. I think it's this Data Protection Act, which is equivalent. But as far back as 2002, the Americans wanted to have, and they implemented a law. So I think these are the Congress people who took that law, and it's well known in the America. Actually, it's well specified. It's quoted even on here vetting, or whatever they call it in Senate. Those appointments and so on. Americans speak about this law. Is well known in the U.S., but that's the U.S. Financial security legislation, privacy-related legislation, and in some countries there are several of them. That's why I regret that are not prepared at least for European Union. Because we do business a lot with European Union. The state laws in the U in the US they call them state laws. In our context, we may call them county laws. But you know, in the US, state laws are very powerful, equally powerful. Here, county laws are referred to as bylaws. Sounds like just international privacy laws in general. There is a wide range of laws in these categories that you have to comply with, that you have to be aware of it. So you could join Deloitte, like we discussed on Monday. Before you know it, you are working in the UK, you are working in Switzerland, and you have to familiarize yourself. So it is the approach, is the knowledge, is the methodology that you know that there are laws of this nature and learn them in your next assignment. Hey, I've just remembered there are people placed in the UK and so on. Some of them are graduates of the master's program. And I remember one of them, Geoffrey, who had done MSc in IT management and did a very good project. This is 2019. And later on, KPMG, went to KPMG London, I think since 2019. He has been with no, he left KPMG, worked with a bank, and gave me some good feedback in terms of the MSc in AI. Very good student. I should call him here. We hold an online meeting at such an hour, whichever hour is convenient to him, and he gives you some, tips on audit, tips on banking industry, tips on career. So someone in this class, what if I will remind me that there's Jeffrey Ugoti whom I need to contact. I've got this email and invite him here. We must assign duties here. So what if is going to remind me? And if he forgets, Fidel is going to remind me by the end of this lesson through an email and call me. Then I invite Geoffrey, ask him when he can come and give these younger brothers and sisters of his some tips on how to get where he is. I want to get out all of you or most of you out of this scenario of being a student, go to work in banking industry, even in the UK, even wherever it is, Finland. Yes, you Felista, I'm looking at your name. I need to send you to Finland. You experience a cold, you're baridi huko Finland. Mmezoea sana. I don't mean your madam, but I'm just saying, mmezoea hii heat ya hapa, which we are enjoying. We should send some of you. Lucy, your name is here on the list, and you can see the screen. To Sweden huko, you're baridi, and you get to know the laws of Sweden, and you get to work there for 3 years, then you can come back. Actually, I need to send some of you out to those countries. Don't come back so soon. There's better oxygen in those countries and the better challenges. So we will invite visitors. And I just remember Jeffrey, we remind me and invite them, and they will come. Convenient. Even if we say that presentation of his is going to be 8 p.m. after he's left work 5 p.m., which will be UK 5 p.m., so be it. So kindly send me an email to remind me, and I will invite him, and they will come and give you experience from the field after we shaped him through the program. Now then, the crimes, I think this list is not in any way exhaustive. It's just giving you a list. And the crimes, the cyber attacks, the cyber crimes are every day in every region. I listen a lot to BBC. You hear something of the nature. I listen to CNN. I watch CNN when I've got time to watch TV, which don't like much because I glue myself there. You will hear of these crimes all over, even in Kenya and so on. So it's not in any way exhaustive. Email compromise, ransomware, fraud of various types, impersonation and scams. And we Kenyans are very vulnerable to these scams. The what do you call that? The maximum prison is called Kawa, called committee. The committee crimes. And by the way, every time, even last week, we were seated doing the MSc AI, and one of the lecturers said he's got this call, and they sounded from committee because they are telling you to reverse, they are telling you to do this, they are telling you. They occur every day, everybody to Wanjiku, to Alex, to the people who are ordinary, to people who are actually well conversant. That's what I mean. I just happen to mention some names. Just happens to Shidma, who is fairly well knowledgeable, but you can get attacked and you may never realize that you have been conned. So there is a wide variety of crimes that we have to be aware. And some of these crimes will end up coming to your desk for auditing purposes. Could be a task you may be given. By the way, I mentioned Cusco, and some of you know because you saw a text which I sent, and I mentioned one particular student. Her name is Sharon Kerubo Mokaya, a graduate of 2018, no, 2020, who is working for his Waterhouse, and she was part of that team. And I congratulated her, and you may have seen the text, and the text is here. I'm reading it. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I cannot find it quickly, but it's here. But she replied and said she would love to come and talk to you, but I actually told her to come today. That's the way I tell people. I say, since I mentioned you and now you are well known and you are a graduate and your younger brothers and sisters waiting to hear from you, I suggest you come to on Thursday, which is today. But she said, but we'll have to do it another time. I'm still working from the client's office, so it might be a bit difficult to make it. So that she has promised. So this is another girl who should work. We'll send Uber to collect her from wherever the client office is for just 1 hour to come to school, better in school. But since you are going online, and I suspect now you want to go online, we need to call her, arrange for 30 minutes at times of convenient to her and give you a talk. It's also inspiring. So I've got people lined up. It's a question of follow up. Many crimes. I think we need to go here. Here is where we need to go, the last slide and list. I've listed this. This is not in any way exhaustive. I am saying these are the major ICT legislation in Kenya today, and some of them are as late as new as 2022. I think the starting point is a constitution. There are several clauses I've said, e.g., Article 35, which talks about access to information. There are a few other articles, I think 34, 35, 36, which talk about how you are required as an institution to safeguard information held about individuals in your organization or your organization's information systems. And the Wanjiku in the Constitution has got rights. And you, the CEO, has got obligations. And you, the CTO, has got obligations under that. And you, as the data center manager, you have obligation which will be delegated to you. And there are certain returns you must do to the relevant office, and that relevant office is the Office of data, data Registrar. I think it's called Data Registrar, something like that. Kenya Constitution. So it's good to start from the highest, and after this we are going to document review. You start from the highest level. Number two, the Data Protection Act of 2019, which provides rules for the collection, processing, storage of personal data. You know, the Acts of Parliament realize the Constitution. They guide on how to implement the Constitution. They specify obligations. And lay down, you get guidelines, which are then operational, which can be revised. The DPA, Data Protection Act of 2019, has got very serious demands on organizations which hold data about individuals. And many of these are government institutions, including UN, including COOPS, including HELP, including IRA, including such similar institutions which hold data about individuals, e-citizen, among others. Number three, the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Act. And you hear actually DCI holding some people, especially politicians, to court, especially the politicians who are offended, MPs and so on. They'll bring something you did some 2, 3, 4 years ago, even a decade ago, and they say Computer Misuse Act. You hear Senate and Parliament summoning individuals to answer on the Computer Misuse Act. This act criminalizes hacking, identity theft, phishing, cyber harassment, among others. Here's a summary. The Computer Misuse Act. Even you, Gen Z, who are putting people kwa Genesa, I think this is some of the acts that you'll be taken to court. You'll be harassed because the law is the law says that. Number next, we're just going through this list. We are not lawyers, we're just awareness. Because you have obligation and the lawyers love their own obligation. Number 4, the Kenya Information and Communications Act, KISA. This one has been around for a while, 1998, amended a decade ago. Regulates electronic transactions, communication services, and broadcasting. This is the act enforced by CCK, CA, Communications Authority of Kenya. Copyright law has been there for a long time. We are talking about the one of 2001 amended 2019, which is supposed to protect you as a software developer, as digital content creator, as database creators, as intellectual property. That intellectual property is a big thing in Europe for lawyers, for regulators, for even the common smith. Is a big issue. And some countries, actually European countries, jealously protect the intellectual property. Number 6, Public Order Act amended 2022. I'll correct my version here. There's supposed to be a comma here. Actually, Public Order Act has been there, or a similar act has been there for decades, even before independence. Before independence, this is, I don't know whether you have heard of the phrase loitering with intent. This is the phrase the colonialists used to use to round up people in Nairobi and other places, and before you know it, you are in jail. Public Order Act. This is the law in South Africa during apartheid they were using to round up the ANC and so on. So there is a new version. It's evolved. Now the Public Order Act, in our context, in the context in which we're discussing it, regulation of social media. So you are tasked to audit, and you're auditing social media, or your audit includes social media, and you're going to audit those institutions that I've given you, and quite a number of them do use social media, and for good reason, but there are those who also use it for not so good reason. National Payment System Act of 2011. I think this is to do with M-Pesa. I think IFMIS, and we are discussing IFMIS, I think, at some level. Access to Information Act of 2016 was enacted, especially to implement this Article 35 of the Constitution. And there are very many other sector-specific clauses, such as the Information and Communication Act of 2010, which then gives authority to the regulators. And some of you are going to go to telecom and do some audit. Or National Payment Act of 2011, financial payments through the IFMI system. So I think you get an idea. I think you get a rundown of these 9 broad categories of serious legal factors that you have to consider while auditing any given institution's information system. Said 15 minutes. I think we have done the 15 minutes. There we go. We finished with this. Keep it in mind, because you're going to go into institutions. You have got tasks and so on. The next task I want to do now is look at, and I think it's your next assignment, hierarchy of documents. We say 60% of the time of audit, or approximately 60% by rule of thumb, is preparation. Preparation requires very often access to official documents, which you read, which you carry along. How do you access this document? You actually ask the client before you go, before you, as soon as you send your audit plan, you request them to send you the list of documents that you require for the audit. And as audit team, you go through the list. You ensure you have understood each and every document, its purpose, and so on. And as you audit, you keep referring to these documents. So you are actually asking the auditee to give you the instrument with which you will hang them. Well, that's it in a loose sense. You must acquire the documents in advance. You go to the auditor having read these documents. This is your toolkit. This is your reference point. This is your basis for the audit. And when you do the audit program, which is the next discussion next week or whenever we have the lesson, there's a reason why I've just said that statement. Or whenever we have the next lesson, to be the basis when you have an audit program, an audit and assurance program, as we said. And I have samples here, and I've prepared samples, and I've audits that have been audited. You must indicate in that audit program the key documents you require. They can as well be 100 of them. And ask them to give them to you. Electronic form, avail them, links, it doesn't matter. In the old days, it goes just get files and files. You need not use those. Access to those documents which you read, and then you use it for auditing the couscous of this world. So what are these documents? There's a slide somewhere. You have it in the classroom, but I've got it somewhere. Where was that? Recent. Up and recent. Eh? I don't know. They must be somewhere here. Shared folder. Folder 452. It's my drive here 452. And this is what I'm talking about. Document hierarchy. You have this document, I believe it's been posted, it's been revised and posted. So the general hierarchy of documents are like these. And some years back, I never knew about this hierarchy until I met a quantity surveyor who told me there is a hierarchy. He probably didn't use the word hierarchy, there is an order of documents. By the way, quantity surveyors who are in the building industry learn what they call contract law far better than the lawyers. I remember my friend Alex, a quantity surveyor, said that some 25 years ago when we were doing some work. Doing some work for me. They learn far better contract law than the lawyers. Because in construction, projects go wrong and so on. So the QS are some of the people who learn these contracts because they have to implement it in some way together with the architects, and the lawyers will come in at a much later stage. So that's when I learned that there is a lot of documents in which they identify. And I didn't pay much attention then. I understood what he said until I started auditing. Number one, the Constitution. Number two, legal and statutory documents. Now, there is a difference between legal and statutory. And actually, one time I got challenged. Someone asked me the question, what do you mean by this? And this person was a senator. I think he was a dean of students. Then in a meeting we were in Nakuru in 2011, said, what do you mean legal and statutory? Because I'd prepared this quality manual at the university. Well, fortunately, there were other people in the house who knew even better law and so on who assisted me. So I will not go into that. Let's just use the word legal and statutory documents, Act of Parliament, laws of the country which you must be obliged to. A statutory Act of Parliament, I think, fall in this category and so on. So we say legal and statutory, it's a legal term. They fall in that category. Next is policies. Policies are national policies. Policies are the institutional policies. But even in institutional policies, you might find hierarchy. Policies. I can open a page and I'll open a page on the next slide and show you the policies we have on the internet, and it's not exhaustive. I will do that. Then we come down to standards, the applicable standards. And this pyramid, as it goes down, I think the depth, the width, the weight of the documents continue increasing. The standards that the industry you are in is either obliged by law to comply or they have chosen either by law, the standard engineers have their standards, medics and others, professional standards. Human resources have their standards outside the institution. Others are those which you choose to comply with. The UON has chosen to be ISO certified. It's a choice. If you chose, then you must be and you shall be audited against those standards. Then there are process and procedures. Now we are coming down to the ground. And there's a difference between process and procedures. Process tend to be higher level, and they are typical things that you have. And I'll show you if you wish samples I have here where format in which you prepare processes. 34, I think, the top processes, and I think something like 87 procedures. That's at the corporate level, university level. If you go down to each department, you'll find a number of procedures that we follow. Then there are work instructions. And at the lowest level, there are records and forms. Actually, you should simply call them records, but where I got this one from, they talk about forms. Here's an example for UON, and you're going to do the same for your own institution. My own institution right now, my assignment, my project assignment is UON. Yours is CCK, is COOPS, is whatever it is, and so on. And you know it. The 55 of you who have come and signed the attendance register. Right. Amina signed the attendance register. Elijah Ajag. Hey, is it? Are these people in this class or last year's? Sign the attendance register here so that we know you are here. I don't have to remind you. Barasa, Elvis Mutinda. Elvis, sign. You always attend class. I know where you sit. I believe you are here. Just sign. So, in the university context, we were somewhere here. All I've said here, if you can read your own version. It says, check the relevant clause applicable to the audit, to the auditee, to the audit institution, to your clients. For example, the university would say, and I didn't go to the constitution, I just stated like this: what does the constitution promise the people of Kenya regarding university education? There are phrases there, and I suspect I know some of the clauses, but I've not listed here. I chose, this is what you should go to the constitution. The constitution is about what, 48 pages or something? I used to have a booklet, a mini booklet. It's got clauses I can't remember. I'm not a lawyer, I need not to remember the constitution. There's legal. But if you're auditing university, you'll ask yourself, what does the constitution promise? In fact, that will as well be the starting point in your opening meeting. Number two, legal and statutory, and I've given you some examples here. Universities Act of 2012 is the one under which universities, all of them, 87 plus, formed. University of Nairobi Charter is a very specific charter the UN was given, and I was there in management when we were being given, and there was a serious audit which was done, serious audit, and we were told to rectify certain things. It took like a month or two, and eventually we got the university charter, which I have somewhere here. But the purpose today is not to reveal, it's not to discuss it, it's just to tell you the approach you use in identifying documents key to your audit in a systematic, hierarchical manner. The Science, Technology and Innovation Act of 2013. That's a national act, and we are a science and technology university. Policies of the university. Now, this is where I can go here. Where is that intranet? What your intranet? Intranet. We'll log in here and I won't show you what is on the intranet of the policies. I've just cited a few there because it was going to be a physical class. Now you made it online. Online is also good for me because I can actually access documents which otherwise I will not access. Oh, okay. Well. I hope I'm still online. Let's see. I hope that I'm still online. Sometimes you get locked out. I think I am. And then I have to remember what is it that I'm supposed to be entering here. I know what it is. Here, right here, intranet of the university. And I believe you can access the intranet. It says very important documents here. UN document. I say documents. Some of the processes I'm mentioning are here. Other documents, I don't know what's under other documents, estimates and so on. PC documents, PC performance contracting, policies and guidelines of the UN. The data protection policy, right here, 2024. We talked about Data Protection Act. There's a policy, and it was created recently because of the need to respond to that act and that registrar of the Office of the Data Protection. The social media policy was introduced recently to guide students' use and abuse of social media. This is the guidelines. The guidelines are lower level than policies. University of Nairobi Disability Policy. Now you can say, what has got disability got to do with us? You know, an auditor is a very wide person. You look at wide issues. So the disability, people living with disability could be complaining on their inability to access the information systems. So don't think it's ramps and all those lifts alone. Everything has got to be done in context. Whistleblowing policy. Disability mainstreaming strategy. This is more of a strategy. Student code of conduct. These are regulations. Work study program. These are guidelines, and among others, they have been placed here. But the other policies. Safety plan, quality policy, quality assurance policy. There's a document here. A policy is normally very few lines, very few, very specific, and it's got clauses. So this is about quality policy, quality assurance as required by the regulators. Policy on staff promotion, policy on record management, policy on fee payment. Sometimes when you fail to pay and you come and argue and you want to see the exam, I want to refer you and your parents and your sponsors to policy. But you see, you never read it. Incubation policy, HR policy, housing policy, guidelines, and so on. There is ICT policy, which I'm not seeing where it is, unless it's page 2, among others. So there is, maybe there's a second page. Curriculum development policy, communications policy, ICT policy somewhere. If I am not able to say it here, I've seen it. It's even somewhere here. I thought I saw here. It is ICT policy. It's a 61-page document. November 2014. Oh, really? I believe there was a newer one than this, which outlines introduction, which I asked you to do the introduction, then you go beyond the scope of whatever task that you had. Emenda pieces. The network development, this is about network. Number 3 is about ICT security and intellectual internet policy. Chapter 4 is about software development. Chapter 5 is about users. Chapter 6 is about equipment. Chapter 7 is about training. Chapter 8 is about database. Chapter 9 is systems administration. Chapter 10 is telecommunications. Chapter 11 is procurement. Chapter 12 is statement of enforcement. Sorry, I may have gone through this quickly, but you get an idea what it is, uh, and you can access it anyway. So back to where we were here, document hierarchy. So policy standards now, the next level. University Standards and Guidelines 2014, prepared by Q. Those are standards, those are guidelines, those are statements of quality. ISO 9001 standard, which we have chosen to be audited, among others. Process and procedures. Now, this is where there is huge amount of ICT process and procedure for teaching. There's even procedure for teaching. Don't think we wake up one day and start teaching. Procedure for ICT application and acquisition of software, among others. Work instructions. Some of these work instructions are just documents, manuals given to you by the vendors to guide you on how to manage your infrastructure, how to carry out certain things, and so on. And then this is now the database that you have. So you go through audit through this in this manner. By the time you actually come to records and forms or simply records, you are testing your audit areas. You are looking at sample records. You are tracing transactions. Now that's an example of UON in particular, the hierarchy in the manner in which we specify our documents, matching the pyramid which I created earlier. Any comment, any question? The remaining 15 minutes, what I'll do is I think I finished hierarchy of documents. It is look at the assignments and look at the assignment which I gave you, and then we can stop there. I believe that's what I plan to do for 1 hour or 1.5 hours at most. No, I think there's something I intended to do. Yeah, I'll do it in a context. I intended, there's a document I opened here. It is this, it is this, yeah, it is. Either this or the other one. I think this one I've given you, if miss. I think I'll either use if miss. No, I'm going to use this other one here. Go up. I'll use this one here. But before I come here, because I came, I brought this in some context. What was the assignment you were given last? It's here. You were told, and you have submitted, and I want to make comments, and I want you to improve it, and I want you to listen to what you are told, and I want you to know that you are preparing the final audit report in a particular way. So you better start getting the sections right. 15 groups have submitted. What was the instructions? Prepare a brief description of the case you have been allocated. A brief background of the case you have been allocated. This is going to be section 1.0. A good background outlines the context. Here I've given you university and I'm telling you it's in the context of university. Talked about UN charter. If you go to Maseno, there is Maseno charter. It's very similar in format, but content is different. Even UN, I've told you, you audit in the view of the regulator called Commission for University Education. There are other regulators whom the University Senate has rejected. The registration for engineers, the the medics, and many other bodies which are professional out there. And this was a big issue, especially with the medical laboratory technologies too, said they must come and inspect the syllabus and the delivery. And the University of Senate rejected it, said, how can you get a very junior institution? And they had to amend the law because the law gave them the power to come and inspect. In other words, you cannot offer medical lab technology course without the approval. If you are to do that, then every other professional body will have to want to approve. So the context, facts and figures that will assist you understand. Strategic plan. It's a question of stating the strategic plans, if there are any, if there are more than one. Guiding policy. I've just told you, I've just shown you the UN guiding policies, sample guiding policies. Yeah. University of Nairobi has got key policies such as ICT policy. Or you can say the key policy guiding this audit is this ICT policy, quality policy, whatever it is. Business model. Usually institutions, especially commercial, will tell you what the business model is. Key process, I've just shown you key processes. In fact, if you want to see key processes of the university, we go back here. Where is that intranet? Go up. Was it here? UN document, ISO document. Processes. Ziko happy processes. QMS processes, university processes. Here they are, 31 of them. I don't know whether all of them are listed here or not. Teaching and learning process, student welfare process, research process, resource management, where ICT, human resource finances are. Because our process is top level covers. Performance audit, university governance, collaborative, and the competition. I believe all of them are here. If they are not, then I'm not seeing page two. So you list these, you state them. No one asked you to explain what these policies are. You have acquired them, you have looked at them, you just need to state a statement. If there are few, like 4 or 5, list all of them. If there are 15, list some, say such as. Back to the assignment. So procedures in the same window I was, there are procedures. Key structures, the organogram. Even if you don't state it, actually it should be in the appendix. Regulatory framework, I've just told you the standards and the regulatory framework queue and so on. The university charter, universities act, universities charter. The clientele, the market share, if there is anything like market share. You normally see you people saying we are the leading university, we are the oldest university. In a way, you are claiming your market share. So this is actually one section. Now let's look at this audit report here. These reports are available. I don't know whether I'll post them to you. Maybe I have, maybe not. They're the work I'm yet to do. But I should post this. If this is what, let me post it to you so that you have it. You have it. This is national fiber optic and IFMIS standards. These are the cases and standards. Cases. IFMIS effectiveness ndio hii edit chapa hii, nenda kwa wanafunzi, post. This is one. National fiber optic ndio hii hapa, nenda kwa immaculate. Performance audit, I think this is posted. These other ones, this one I need to post, they go together. Edit this. Chuma kwa Taylor hii, acha Taylor asome akuwe nayo, ng'ang'ane nayo ajue vile mambo iko. So there it is. So we are back here. I want to look at this as an introduction. We'll spend about 5-10 minutes here. Here's a title. So by the way, this business of School of Computing, University logo, blah blah, remove it from, I think, almost everybody. I don't know whether it's Neville's. I looked at Roy. Stop doing assignments with Moturi's name, with your name there. Write this document in the context of the institution. Let the logo be CA. Let it be written as a report, a draft report, section 1.0 or section 1. So you're all going to change. I'm telling you this. I don't know where you adopted from. Ndio hii. Where is this assignment? Just one look tells me you are writing a report to please you, to please me. Write a report to please your client. Here it is, background information. Yeah, 15. Wow. And we have to show it in class here. Allow me, I'll pick this. And you are here. It says here. And all of you have used this format. I don't know who told you from year one. You can't change. University of Nairobi, CSE 452, Moturi, Moturi, group 3. Knock it off. It's not about UN, it's about the case. This one is about Kenya's. Uh, eh? Or what did I ask you to do in this assignment? I'm sure there's a case here. There's an institution you're auditing, Ministry of ICT. Why don't you get their logo and have it as an audit report? And remember, I said you're going to have, you're going to use this later on. Here is this one, may be slightly different. I think this one could have gotten it from what I'm saying here at a glimpse. Let's see. Oh, no. They are still the group members and so on. Who cares about group members? Put it at the in the bottom footer of the last page. Have you wish actually somewhere in the summary, in the introduction, is where you say this audit was conducted by a team from UON or whatever it is, or from Taylor and Associates, and then you put your name there. Here it is. So prepare documents which reflect the business, the organization, the clientele. University of Nairobi is an assignment. It was an assignment. It was a task to prepare the report. So you look at these, the title, Performance Audit Report of the Auditor General, Implementation of National Optic Fiber Backbone Infrastructure Project. Very telling. It's a performance audit. It's about no FBI. It's about the Ministry of the ICT, and it's December 2020, 2014. I don't know what this logo here means. It must mean something in the context of the ministry. Maybe I picked it from the document. Well, they should say, yeah, this page is left blank. There's a forward by the Auditor General. This is their format. This is their format they have established. Whether you like it or not, who cares? No one asked you to like it. Just study it. This is list of abbreviations. Your document will have this later on. List of definitions. Table of contents. You'll have this. List of figures. Executive summary. Now, these reports are written in a manner that actually it is the executive summary that is presented to Parliament. They present their reports to Parliament. Even to the board, there is a document here on how to write executive summaries. I'm going to post it immediately. You'll get it. It's a document here on how to write note assignments. You're not kids in school, university students. You are auditors. I saw something here at the very preliminary, a writer from Harvard or someplace. Iko apile. So cases, standards and frameworks, course outline, sample. Anyway, I can't see it right now, but I've seen something here on how to write, view more, on how to write good reports. You can find it, someone will find it. I know it's somewhere here, and there's a very good summary on how to write executive summary. For this type of project, executive summary matters a lot. It's what you present to the board. The rest of the details will be given to the IT director, to the finance officer, to whoever it is that is going to read the details. So they write it in a manner that executive summary is not one page, it's 4, 5, 6 pages. And it starts with the background of the audit, which is what I asked you to do. But we want to see the detail, how they have written it and how you have written yours. Why the successful implementation of the project is important as a rationale. Objective of the audit findings, the key findings summarized. the services which are unreliable. Eh, and they are numbered and they are close by close. So it goes in a manner that even recommendations are here. From that page up to here is actually what Parliament reads. The rest of the document, which will be 90% or bigger, they don't read that, but the details are there for someone else. Now, what is the background they have written? Chapter 1, background to the audit, introduction, background to the national fiber optic infrastructure, motivation of the audit. Chapter 2 is something different. So I don't know why you are telling me about the objective of the audit. Who asked you in that assignment? Objective was not even written, and if I wanted, I should have said it in this guideline. So facts and figures about that incident. It's the context in which you're doing this audit. So you already, some of you have even given me audit plan. I don't know which chat GPT or DeepSeek you are seeking your information. You are writing the scope. What's the about the scope? Have you uncovered the scope? Audit criteria. You are writing about the audit criteria in a background. So don't be too smart. Your work was to write here. They have said here, clause 1, an intro. That's what they call it. This report examines the implementation. Of course, this is a report which has been done. Now you're writing as an intention, but remember, you're going to write it as a final report. This one tells you this national fiber optic, how it was approved by cabinet, how it was established. The numbers, facts, and figures are here. Over 80% of the population in Kenya had no access to basic telecommunication services by 2007. Now, those are facts and figures. Act 2000, those are facts and figures. Phase 1 was implemented between this year. Those are background information. 5,000 kilometers, 2,100. This is what you're supposed to have written. But you tell me about, you even made a conclusion. Any question? Where are you? Where is these people? Why are you giving me what you're not asked? And the assignment was for 24-hour assignment. Just write a good background. No wonder I said 500 words. Yeah. In fact, it should just be one paragraph, or you can have subsections if you wish. Just one paragraph. Call it 1.0, whatever it is. Any question? Kennedy Lele, Derek Kiproto, Eugene Kinyanjui, Kimeu Dominic. Make some comment, some statement. It's 10:15 or nearly 10:15, just the time I wanted to finish covering this. Joel Ndenda, you were not there last time. Roman, go ahead and ask the question as Joel and then Jerry sign the register and then Jaramba. Jaramba, I'm not sure whether you are there. I think you were. That is Bentley, you are seated at the back. So, Roman, I'm not sure there's a few words I missed, but I get the gist of your question is that, and I've emphasized, we have allocated you an a public institution. We want you to start preparing for that audit. The next assignment, which is due, and I think I've changed that timeline and brought it forward, is document hierarchy. And I've given you an example of UN. After that, you do a schedule, an audit schedule, audit program, and audit and assurance program. So yes, you are preparing, but I also telling you, just like your project report, you prepared a proposal last year, September, and I keep telling so many of you that proposal will become the final document. Although the proposal is in the future, that future is coming faster in May this year or April or May. You shall be writing what you have done in the past. So this is background, which is going to form the background of the report. And I've given you sample reports now of the Auditor General. So you prepare it well. It's assisting you prepare for the audit. When you write the report, it's assisting the reader understand the context in which you did the assignment. I believe I've answered your question. Oh, good. I think for now, assume you're auditing the entire organization. You are auditing the ICT aspect of the organization. To be fair to you, I don't mean finance and so on. The entire ICT infrastructure and services of the organization. ICT. You're not going to audit how they drill boreholes. No, the entire ICT aspect, the processes and so on. Assume that that is a particular project. That is actually, in fact, this report here said it is a performance audit. I remember some of you engaged me towards the end, and we said forensic audit, there is performance audit, and there are 3 or 4 categories. In fact, inside here, let me tell you, not even, I'll read it for you, but this is a performance audit of a project which had been undertaken and hopefully successfully implemented. But the Auditor General will always remind you somewhere here. There are 3 types of audits they do. It's somewhere here. I'll have to find it. It says here performance audits together with financial audit and continuous audits. That's what I'm looking for. Form the 3-pillar audit assurance framework that the Auditor General uses. So the Auditor General has got 3 types of audits. I'm not so sure whether this is complete because it's forensic audit, but they call it performance audit, a project, a system, an organization's aspect. Financial audit, these are the statutory audits of finances, and they call it continuous audits. I think there is what they call special audits, and you can go to their website and see they call it. But the continuous audit, this is where they come on a regular basis, sometimes to check even before goes wrong. And they have come. There's a time, the one I remember, 2017, when the people from the Auditor General came in ICT Center, and they spent like 3 weeks there auditing, not looking for any fault, but they are just continuous audit. So yes, there are 3 types of audit, but you are assuming you are going to audit the entire ICT infrastructure and services of that organization. Any other question? So what's the next assignment? Uh, Edwin Ringo first. Say something.
Um,
Or Edwin Ringo, or was it Tevin Aduma? Edwin first, and then Tevin next.
I didn't raise my hand. I think it was Devin.
It is Aduma. Aduma and Aringo are near each other. He raised his hand and
Yeah,
then he disappeared.
sorry,
Te-
it was me. I raised it and I let it down quickly.
No,
I
say
just wanted
something.
to add.
Now that you have raised, say something, Tevin. When you are given an opportunity, a microphone, you say it, you posture, you campaign, you get votes from Alex and Emmanuel and Gregory here. So this is your moment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, so I wanted to ask in the course of this audit task,
Mm,
some of us have been assigned, so to speak, critical organizations.
mm.
For example, our group is doing the National Treasury. Will we be expected to engage with key officials from such organizations? And if so, will the school facilitate those interactions?
The ideal answer, yes. When you're auditing, you must be engaged those institutions. But this is a class assignment. At some stage, you will see, and I'm looking at the project, it says, assuming you have done this. No, we are not going to facilitate. You will be a nuisance. As a student, going to probe into questions you have no legal basis. We will make a mess of ourselves. It's going to be based on the information you get from textbooks, from report, from websites, from reports and documents alone. Can you turn yourself and write a report? No, we are not going to invade those institutions. This is a class project. Even your fourth year project, generally we discourage projects where you have to go and seek information from the source. At master's PhD level, we do that. So, and it will be inconveniencing to the ODT, but it also be demanding too much on you. No, this audit is going to be based on the guidance. If anything, I am the person, I am at the National Treasury referred to me. At any one of those institutions referred to me. So I don't expect you to go interviewing or finding or probing. No, for purposes of class assignment, just use information publicly available. February 24, that is done. I've even given an example. So, project number two is information security standards. I've given you an assignment here due. Project number three is probably a more substantive one. Audit and assurance. The next lesson we shall discuss audit and assurance. Uh, Number four, project number four, due February. By that time, we'll have introduced COVID. We start saying one of the things you need very many tools and things. One of the practical and easy reference tool is an audit checklist. I'll give you examples of the university one. After going through the documents, you now start preparing checklists of the key, you can say, questions that you're going to ask or areas. So far, that's what I've submitted to you. But if you look and you're seeing my screen here, there is project number. Up to number 9 is scheduled to come to you, including 12 p.m. and you'll get it. Project number 10, final report. You're going to write your report two phases. A draft report, which I expect to be badly written, which I'll accept. A final report, a forensic audit report. Now I'll start asking some aspect of that organization where you apply forensic audit standards. Incident of misconduct, I think we need to find a new one here. Still a valid one. I need to find a current thing and I give you here. And this likely be individual. Research paper, corrective action plan. Now, by this time, you will have done and understood and probably found written a report and found violations and so on. Then we do a corrective action plan. And there is a fine. This one we'll have to change. This one last year was responding to that case that I went through. In class, we still want to have it. Project number 14. So this is an outline. You may have not seen all these. Those 15 projects, I think is good. One for every week, or at least or one and a half or one and a quarter every week. That is the learning that is this course. 10:23, we shall stop presenting. Where is that? Stop presenting. We shall check attendance is being taken. Gloria Mayoyo has not signed attendance and she's got my devices and she's available. Baraza, I don't know whether this time the Baraza you were there. Maybe this student is not supposed to be here, but anyway, I'm just reading a few. I need to remove some names here. Nesta Mwangi, I don't know who Nesta Mwangi is. Not seeing him. Gigi Isaac. Some of these people are last year's class. Jogu Jeff, Sylvia. Sylvia signed the register. You were there last Monday. Ryan Kabavu. I don't think this man is in this school and they didn't bother to remind me. Please, your friend, tell him I'm not amused and he knows why he owes me an explanation. Let me remove him from here. In fact, he's irritating when I see him and don't see him in school. Please, your friend, tell him I'm not amused that he didn't bother to inform me. Whatever he is. And he knows why. Paul Lomondi. Yeah, there are so many people here. Victor Gara is in this class. Patrick Ojamba, you even walked up to me and said hello and asked me for whatever it is. Ongere Bruce, this one also, I don't know where he is, but from what I gather, he's not in school. So I want a clean register and I want to account for each and every soul in my class. Oh, sorry, every student in this class, every good student in this class. The ones who are not good, not for me. Fidel is right here. Stephen Otieno, I don't know whether you were there last time. Roman, very active, and he has just a question. Njogu is here. Sigei, pick a signature which you have done and you are there in class. And eventually, Waudo Siganga was in. Are you here, Waudo? I saw you in the lab when I was talking to MSc. I don't know if you came to class. Sign here, Waudo, so that we know, nothing special about any one of you. Stephen Otieno, sign. Stephen Otieno is who? Is he the one who walked? No, that's Feli Otieno. Sign the signature, Siganga. We are waiting and we are watching. You seem to be there. Pick a signature up. And Monday, if you came to class, because I saw you before class. Hey, can someone tell him in a language he understands? Njogu Jeff was last. I'm going to clean this class, this list, so that I don't have to get this impression that that I have 82 students. Maybe I've got 72, which is even better. Sawa sawa. Thank you for attending. I think it's been engaging. 59 students, probably 80% of the students. Shall we stop there and have a good day? God bless.
May you have a good day too.